Hello again. Yep. Hello. This On this video, we're going to study switch, a switch concept. Switch. We're gonna learn how to use switch in terms of using, for instance, um, if we can use a switch. So switch, it's same like if statement. You got different condition, or in switch they call it cases. So we're gonna learn how to do a switch. We'll try to do switch with the integer, with a data type of integer, and we do with the data type of a string, and we're gonna try to do maybe with a char, so that you see how a switch works. A switch is similar, just to understand, a switch is quite similar to if statement. So in if statement you got the if. Let's talk about a normal if, a straightforward if. In the if statement you got the if and you got the else is a default value. So in a switch you got a case, and then you got case you break, then after that you got what? A default. A default plays the same role as else, similar to if, but it's switch. So some people prefer, instead of using if statement, they prefer to use a switch. So we're gonna do some example so that we can understand how switch works. Okay. So first thing first, I have to declare a variable. So let's say I'll use a data type of integer. So I'll say int. Okay. Okay, I'll say int, and then let's use a random variable. So let's say num. So assign the num value equal to maybe 20, just for instance. And then here a switch. Okay, this is a switch. Now in switch, the first word which called switch, what you put in the bracket is the value which you want to switch. Okay, so if you look at our first line, which we declare a variable called num, so num become the value which you want to switch. Although num, what we did, we outcode num, so we put the value into num value. Okay, so which is 20. So we're going to use num to switch, so it's that variable, and then after that we open the bracket. Okay, so we open the bracket. Now the first line is case. It's called case. A switch has case. Now this case, so we're gonna just randomly, we're gonna change that while we coding. So that's how I do your case. So you do that, then you enter, and then here you prompt a message console. For instance, let's say we wanna write line, right line. And in here maybe we're gonna place say the message said, let's just say the value of x, okay, is something like this, is 10. So that first case will display the value of x as 10. All right, so in the first case we display the value of x as 10. So we close that. It's not done. Then you realize that in a case where we declare the case, this case we still have an issue. You see the red line, it means there's a problem with that. The reason being is because a case have to accompany with uh, a break. So since we didn't put a break, that's why we got a problem there. So let's type, since we happy with our message, we're gonna put a break. Automatically, as soon as we put a break, and you see what happened, the case is what? It's clear. Right. So in the switch statement, we can put as many cases possible. So let's add another case. We're gonna call this case let's just say 15. Okay. So in this case 15, we realize that we don't put comma or semicolon after the case. We just put the two dot. So in this case, we're gonna say console again. We want to send a message console dot right line, and then we're gonna also say the same thing, the value of x. Let me just use capital letter x is what? Is 15. Okay, 15. Right. Okay, so let's close that, and then we break it, and then we're done. So that is the second case. Let's use another case. Case. So we call this case then let's call this 20. 20, and then we enter again. We do the console dot write line, and then we pass a message here, the same message. Let's just say the value of x is 20. Okay, so we put a semicolon in the end of the 20. Let me come down so you can see. So we break again. Let's say break, then we break. Okay, so now we realize that we had all the cases. So let's say, for instance, we only want to use the 3 cases. There's no other case that we're going to use. Now, if it's not none of this case, we need to have a else message. If it doesn't meet one of these 3 criteria, what answer will be? If you don't have the default message, what's going to happen? The user would not understand that the input something wrong, or whatever the user is using is not there. So we need to prompt a message to display something which is not the 2 of them. If it's not 10, it's not 15, it's not 20, what's going to be the answer? So that's why we use something called default. default, and you just put the 2 dots, and then here in the end you just display the message. You just say console dot write line. Again, we put this and then a 2 inverted comma. We're gonna just say it, maybe say it press what can you say it? Okay, let's just tell the user that not okay, let's just use value not no, right? Let's do something like this. Okay, so we do that, and then also you can see that even when we do default, the default has a red line. That means we need to do what? We need to break it. So let's break again. So the line is gone. So now we completed all our switch. So we just go outside of the switch. We do the console again so that we can display console console dot. You can use read key or whatever that makes you happy. Read line, it's the same thing. So we do that, and then we're gonna save this. Now later try to run this application and see what happened. So in here we got 3 cases, so we need to have let's see the outputs that we're gonna have from that. Now remember, the user didn't have to input any value. The value was outcode, so we already assign the value of num to 20, sorry. So the user doesn't have to input anything. So we're just gonna go, we're running it straightforward and see the value and display the value. Simple as that. So it's just gonna give us a message. So you must just be patient. So sometimes it takes a little bit longer for for this to run. Yeah, so it's a straightforward switch which just go from thing to display the message. So there's nothing major which we did on the switch statement. It's taking long as usual, but then you can try. You can also do it yourself and then see what I'm talking about. This is like a straightforward type of switch, a straightforward type of switch. Let's see what they have here. Okay, so you can see it's saying the value of x is what? Is 20. All right, so the reason why it's 20, remember in the switch, when we assign the value in the beginning, we put the value of num equal to what? Equal to 20. So you just display the value of num. Can you see? So a num is 20. So let's try to change this, to allow the user to input it and then see what are we going to do if the user had to input. So let's start console console dot write line, and then here we'll say, just prompt a small message first, say enter a number, right? Let's just do this for now. But then as I told you guys, you need to be able to the message must be user friendly. So when you're doing it on your own, because of sake of time, just put a small message. So that we're gonna convert that, said int, can use 32, it's fine. Dot, can use paste in, paste, and then here we're gonna pass the console dot read line. Okay, so we do console dot read line. Inside there we close this. Now we're gonna allow the user to input the value. All right, so but remember, now the user can only input how many values? The user can only put what? One values, isn't, to check the switch. So now if the user put 10, we should be able to see this message, view this message. So if the user put 50, we should be able to view the message for 50. So let's go, let's run it and see what we did. Right, okay, so the user, let's say for instance the user said enter maybe, let's say 10. You see, then the value of 10 is 10. Can you see now? So we got like two different value which the user have to input. All right, two different values. So now we got 5 cases, but the user only input one value. How can we do it that the user inputs the user input 5 times each value? So this is what we can do. We can just go here and then say it for, let's just say the for loop there. You guys understand we did the for loop, so let's just say it for, and then in the for loop here we're gonna say it int I equal to, let's say equal to 0, and then we say it I is less than 5, less or equal to 5. Let's use another aggregation function in there, and then we're gonna say it I plus plus, so that you can increment. Okay, so here we open the bracket. I'm gonna remove this bracket. I'll go put it in the end of the statement. So to put it somewhere here, put it somewhere here. Okay, yeah, so that is done. So I'll save this. Let's run this application again, and let's see. Now we did the switch now because we had 3 statements. So I decided to put an if statement so that you can display 3 times. So let's say we got 10, and then we can also input 20. We can also input 20, and we can also input 15. Right? Oh, sorry, 15. And then we can now input something which is not there. Let's put 30 or 80. Sorry, 80, and then enter. Can you see, say the value not known? So this means what? Our loop is working and our switch case is also working. So can you see the switch is similar to if statement? So you check the first value, then if it doesn't meet the first value, then check the second value, then check the third value, then check the fourth value. So it's similar to an if statement. Okay, but we're having an issue here because this message keep on repeating too many times. Okay, let me just take all those two here. Let's take these two outside the loop. Okay, yeah, so then that is that. So since we understood how to do the for loop, so you can go through it and do it on your own time and then learn more. You can create different type of switch, but we'll do it on a string in a later video. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe, like my video. I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.